How's it going? I'm Jack Devine. Welcome back to another episode of Jacksnax. Today we're going to talk about gear. This is a new guitar. If you've been watching, you probably, occasionally see guitars come and go out of the rack, or even in the videos themselves. Hasn't been too much discussion about this instrument on my channel because it's kind of a newcomer. Little background story, you guys probably think of me as playing a Strat. If you're watching the channel, I do a lot of work with that Stratocaster. But the truth is, for the longest time, Les Paul was my main go-to guitar. So maybe, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I decided to stop playing Les Pauls and double humbucking guitars in general, and started just focusing on how to work and own a Stratocaster as a musician. I just was sitting there thinking to myself, there's no way I could really think of myself as being as evolved as I wanted to be as a guitar player without knowing how to operate a Strat. But I sold my Les Paul, and I've missed it ever since. So I kept my eye out, and finally, it only took me 15 years to find one that hit all the marks for me. This is an R9 from 2015, true historic spec. This one was actually a limited release done by Gibson called the Historic Select. So you can see it's got an HS serial number, and it came equipped with a few mods that are kind of interesting from the factory stock Grovers, and one pickup with the pickup cover removed, exposing a zebra coil, which is not my preference in terms of looks, but boy, oh boy, this is a spectacular sounding guitar, and it plays great. It was one of this whole Les Pauls, blah, 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 they don't do this, they don't do that. This guitar plays so wonderfully. It does have that telly on steroids thing that everybody always talks about with a good Les Paul. It's very snappy, a lot of direct punch in the tone, and it really does overdrive sweetly. If you were watching my recent foray into the wonderful world of Paul Reed Smith guitars, where I profiled all 4 guitars, I never once really mentioned how those guitars stack up against my Les Paul, but mind you, I was consistently comparing them over the course of the last few weeks. This guitar sounds different than all of those Paul Reed Smith guitars, but they're definitely cut from the same cloth. There's a lot of similarities to them. In particular, the things I love about this instrument, though, is that the neck pickup doesn't get all soggy and dark. Right, it still has a lot of fluty upper end clarity. Smattering of all kinds of weird playing there, but you can get a feel for the sound of the pickup. It has that nice little chirp at the top that I like. Okay, I'm playing through that overdriven Marshall sound that I liked when I was doing the profiles of the PRS, so this is a pretty good way to get a good A-B comparison between what a Les Paul sounds like versus at least a high-end Les Paul sounds like compared to some of these finer guitars that were in the back rack there when I did the 4 PRS week. Okay, so bridge pickup I have nice and wound down how I love it. With a 4-knob setup like this, you can tame the high end here and keep it wide open on the neck pickup, so that way you're not always futzing with the tone control, and that's one of my favorite things about this. Still plenty of chirp and brightness up here. If I want to roll it down to 2 and get that kind of more muted, really direct sounding without any upper end harshness. Add a little bit more. and roll it back. That's the magic of the Les Paul. Come here, hit like a nice bar chord on your Les Paul with both both volumes all the way up. Then back off the neck pickup until it clears up just a little bit, and that's the magic, man. Right around in there. And now this is going to sound different than this. Right? To me, that still is a little shrill. This has that muted horn sound to it that I love. Right? So obviously a total winner for overdriven sounds. If we go and just hear what it sounds like for maybe a little bit more of a, somebody saying hello. If we go and look at what it sounds like for more ambient, clean sounds, one of the beauties of this instrument actually starts to come through is it has a gorgeous clean sound. These pickups are burst buckers, and I believe they are unpotted. And I think the bridge is wound slightly hotter than the neck. So bridge, neck, still on 10 though. And then the middle. So if we take some of the repeats off. Nice and clucky. Right? I love that little cluck. Beautiful sound. Okay, again, that's with the tone wide open on the neck. If we want to mellow it out, we can really, very warm. Okay, so that's really what's happening here. Other things that are notable about this instrument that I think are really helpful in contributing to a great sound. This guitar is so light. It weighs 7.8 pounds. It's the lightest Les Paul I've ever held by a wide margin, and it's completely solid. There's no weight relief or anything. There's no funky business going on there. There's a little bit of that binding bleed that you'd come to expect from the cherry, fading into the cream-colored plastics, which is actually standard operating procedure on the originals that I've played. I've only played around 6 or 7 bursts over the years. And I will say that this guitar does not have the absolute, bone-shaking majesty of those instruments. Some of which left me flat, but the ones that really, really knock it out of the park, the combination of the PAFs and the neck carve and the Brazilian rosewood on the board, that is truly special. But obviously, those instruments are just way out of my price, my reach. To the neck carve, that's kind of the big issue always with these instruments for me, is that this neck is definitely more of a handful than I would prefer. It's I am a wimp. I tend to like skinnier necks, but this one is just about as big as I'm prepared to go. It isn't as ridiculous as some of the R7s and R6s and R8s that I've played, where it's like, what is going on? Because I get my thumb over the top a lot. So this is good. The shoulders are a little robust in the last couple of frets for my taste, but still really, really amazing instrument. Probably the best playing guitar I own at the moment in terms of its setup and the ease of play. I actually had to make it harder to play because it was just kind of too slutty. It just let me go nuts, and it wasn't really sounding great because it was also choking. Well, not choking, but when I would dig in too hard, it would kind of chatter up against the frets. So let's hear some extra sounds and see if we can give you guys something fun to listen to on the way out. out here. So here are some these pretty triads, this kind of stuff. Right, very, very nice instrument. Let's see about the bridge. Add a little fuzz. Monstrous fuzzy sound. All right, great cleans, great instrument. I love this instrument. It came with the original case and all the candy and all that jazz, and I got it for what I think to be a pretty fair price. The only modification I made to the whole guitar was, you see underneath the pickguard, I always put a little wad of toilet paper underneath there so it doesn't wiggle. I don't like it when I feel it going ba-doinka, ba-doinka. I like to be able to plant myself firmly on there, okay? And as tight as this is and screwed in properly, it still was giving a little bit of a diving board effect, right? So I don't want any of that. So I like that to be firm, and it is. So it's right where I like it. Terrific instrument. Anyway, thanks to the cat down in, this guitar came out of Nashville, and it is a hell of an instrument. Wow, wow, wow. R9 Historic Select from 2015. That's my Les Paul. All right, take care, and please check back. There'll be more videos on my gear. I got a whole, oh my God, my wife is gonna be upset when she sees how many guitars there actually are down here. Anyway, we'll go over all of them in detail later, but thanks for tuning into the channel. Check it out, man. Wow, congratulations to Jack. Hey. So anyway, super happy about this purchase.